Welcome to Not Penny's podcast. For those of you that are coming in, if this is your first episode, welcome and namaste. If you've been with us for the last couple of episodes, thanks for coming back. Hopefully, you're telling your friends and your family and all your other fellow losties about the show. If you're liking it, if you're not liking it, I'm one of those people that kind of wants to hear like what you don't like, so that I can maybe change it. So, but if you've been joining us, then you know that I am Michael. I am a lostie who watched from the broadcast, weekly and through multiple rewatches. But this is a rewatch podcast with a twist because my co-host Rebecca has never watched Lost before.
Nope, going into this completely blind.
And on the last episode, we did both parts of the pilot. We did pilot part 1 and 2 because I did say in the intro show, we are not going to do a one-for-one episodic thing because, quite frankly, that requires over almost 2 years worth of recording. So that's a lot. So we are gonna be clustering episodes together. So, for instance, the pilot was 1 episode, and we're actually gonna be clustering again this week. We're gonna be clustering episode 3 and episode 4. Episode 3, I don't remember the name of it, but episode 4 was Walkabout, and I kind of tipped you off a little bit that Walkabout was kind of the first time that we get a "What?" Like wait, like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, that.
Let's back it up just a bit. Did you notice, like I said last week, did you notice that the show kind of feels and looks a little bit different than it did in the pilot?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
You notice that
It's not as, it's not super flashy cinematic. It doesn't have the J.J. Abrams je ne sais quoi of J.J. Abrams. Yes,
yes, the J.J.
but
Abrams
that's good for
pizzazz.
me. That's yes, but that's good for me because that means there's no shaky cam and I won't get sick. So we're good.
I don't think there's a lot of shaky cam. There's a lot of running on Lost, but never on the camera,
Right.
so
No, there was,
I don't know
one
that you're
shot,
okay.
but it was fine. Yeah.
What the one thing I don't like is, and this is not a spoiler in any way, when there's an explosion in a TV or a movie and they do that thing with the soundtrack where they put like the sound of your ears ringing in the track
Oh,
and they muffle
yeah.
everything. I hate that. I hate that. And they do that on Lost like once. And I'm like, oh my God, I hate it. I hate it so much because it makes me feel like I feel the experience that they're wanting me to feel, which is that I am also now, like, have, muted hearing and ringing in my ears because of the explosion, so I didn't really I don't really like that feeling, but I'm supposed to feel that feeling, so mission accomplished. You know,
Right, it's like, "Good job, but at what
good
cost?"
job, but
So
ow, so
yeah, thanks.
okay, so let's talk about episode 3, which was a Kate-centric episode. We
It
found out
was.
we found out in the first couple episodes that Kate is the fugitive, the guy that is in the little makeshift MASH tent is the US Marshal who is escorting her back to the United States after capturing her in Australia, which we find that she's essentially roaming, backpacking the world, presumably on foot or like hitchhiking. But we catch her in Australia where she is essentially finds a farm to hide out on, gets caught by the jolly good one-armed Australian man. Wasn't that the most stereotypical, like, Australian farmer you've ever heard? "Oh, here I'm a
I had
lefty."
so
I'm
many
like, "Yep."
right, that's an I was not expecting the one-armed until, the mannequin arm popped off. I was not expecting that, but when Kate first met him, my first indication that maybe I watch a little too much true crime content is when he's talking to her and he's giving her the rundown of the situation, and I'm looking at this man, I'm like, "I don't trust you. This is how people die, bad things happen. Like, what's going on, man? Like, you
And
better
you're
not
knowing
hurt
it's a
her."
loss, just with the correct lens. of suspicion in that every time you meet a new character, you immediately go, "I don't trust you. I don't know why, but I just don't there's something about you." So,
Exactly.
you're going into this at the right angle. So, but essentially Kate becomes a farmhand. And but then as we will learn very quickly about Kate, Kate never stays in one place for very long, because of course she's on the run from she is a fugitive. They have not said what, correct? They've not revealed exactly
Correct.
what
She
it
was
is
ready
that
to
Kate,
jump.
because I wanna say there is an episode coming
No.
up called What Kate Did. And it's so
Okay.
essentially and
'Cause
it's gonna
I feel
explain to
like
you exactly what you did, or exactly what she did, and it, of course, is gonna be a very morally gray, like, he had it coming,
okay.
like it
Oh, understandable. Okay.
yeah. So, even though we will find out what Kate did, it definitely raises more questions about, is Kate a good person versus, "Oh, Kate's terrible." Like, it honestly doesn't it's not as black and white as you think it would be, because it's lost and nothing ever.
Isn't that pretty much I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that pretty
Yep.
much the tone of this show though? Like
Yep. Black and white, and we're making it up as we go along. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, do you take notes as you write? I do not, because I tend to think I can remember these episodes, and then we get in here, and I try to remember what happened in episode 3, and I'm like,
Mhm.
because we do need to talk about episode 3 before we get to Walkabout,
Yes. A lot of these things are mostly just my random thoughts at the time,
which
but
were a lot of
also
fun during the pilot. So I say we just stick with this. This like
Okay.
train of thought.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a bad idea. I say we go with that. By the way, I love that you're
I
wearing
mean, you already
Monsoon Oh Mary shirt.
Oh, Mary.
I
Yes.
I want a Jinx Monsoon Oh Mary shirt so badly. But yeah, I like that you this like stream of consciousness writing. Like, okay, like what's going on? It's like you're just typing notes as you're watching and you're like, what just happened? Like,
Well, pretty much, I have my very ADHD handwriting notebook, which is just like literal chicken scratch at this point. And then the notes in the screenshot that I sent you this morning as I was processing everything. So I now have 2 sets of notes going on, which is not good for me at all. But but I forget which character said this quote that sort of stuck with me, and I feel like it's going to be important later on, but it might also mean nothing. But essentially, hope is a very dangerous thing to lose. And I feel like that's probably a running theme to some degree. There's that. Hurley is me asking about dinosaurs.
yes. Hurley is the voice of the
He's
audience
me.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
I swear they just read
Uh,
online forums and made sure that Hurley mentioned at least something wacky, some wacky theory that we've had at least once an episode. So they're gonna be like, ah, they're
nah.
reading what we're writing.
Yeah. Not only do we have a similar haircut, but he has my thoughts. So,
Yeah.
okay. So there we have the one group that splits off to they're doing something. Oh no, that's next episode. But secrets upon secrets upon secrets, hiding the fact that there was the signal blocking with the French lady,
Mhm.
Hurley and Jack hiding the fact that they saw Kate's mugshot. And it's
Mhm.
like this expanding file of who knows what, but who doesn't know what, but who knows that this person knows what. Utter insanity. Utter
Because
insanity.
in a situation like this, you've got to think they are only which fun fact, the pilot date premiered on the date that canonically Oceanic 815 crashed. So the pilot
Okay, that's
episode
cool.
is the day of the crash was aired on the day of the crash. So it was like September something 2004, I think. Is that is
Well,
like
that was a choice.
yeah, like it was a deliberate choice, for sure. But
That was certainly a choice.
yeah, you have quite a bit of notes about Walkabout, I know, but
Yeah,
so
yeah, I still have the Kate episode notes, so I have more.
oh, I know what it was. I know what it was.
Yeah,
It was just like a very realistic situation. 1 or 2 days into it, you don't probably trust a lot of people. And you're
right.
kind of keeping an eye on yourself, and you're always watching your own back because nobody else there, you don't know who else there would have your back. So I think that is the stage where we are mentally with these characters. Everybody's kind of shielding a little bit because they like don't want to like Kate definitely looks at this as if that Marshall dies, like
She's
Kate
free.
doesn't know that anyone knows. Right. If the Marshall
Right.
dies, no one will ever know about her secret. But then of course Jack finds out, Hurley finds out. Like we haven't found out exactly what it is she did, but we will. And you've got
And even the air marshal keeps waking up. He's like, you have to get, she's very dangerous. Like,
right.
my pocket, my pocket. Like,
Yeah.
there are some stakes here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's obviously Sawyer is the what everybody thinks exists in every type of emergency situation. And while there are people that loot and kind of hoard stuff for themselves and kind of grave rob in a way during these situations,
Mhm.
yes, there's not always just that one cartoonish character that's just waiting to pick the dead, off to the side. So I right now we're still in that because I think they want to plant this seed that you can't trust Sawyer. Um, which characters on this show will change from kind of good to bad. Like, oh, they're great. Oh, they're in the doghouse. Oh, they're doing great. Oh, this one
Mhm.
got exiled from the entire group and now lives on another part of the island. Like, there's, all these different things happen. So trust is a big part of what we're doing right now. No one trusts Sawyer because they think Sawyer's hiding everything from everybody. Even to the point that we made some terrible jokes about, when the food starts running low, that, Hurley knew where all the food was. Like, that's a terrible joke.
Yeah. That's,
Uh, and then, like Kate, she doesn't trust anybody because she hasn't trusted anybody in years. So there's a reason everybody there has a reason to not trust everybody around them. And you'll see it as we go through these first couple episodes that are each character centric because you get a lot of a lot of their backstory. And I'm glad they did it this way and made it like, okay, here's a Hurley episode, here's a Kate episode, here's a Locke episode. Because that way you could devote the entire 45 minutes of runtime with commercials. You could devote that entire 45 to 50-minute period strictly about their backstory and their story arc, their journey, and rather than try to cram 20 different characters' backstories and like clip them all over every episode. So I was very happy that when they did that. And it's funny that I don't know why, but Sun and Jen episodes tend to be my least favorite episodes. I watch them and it's nothing against those episodes. I just don't know why. I think it's just a coincidence that Sun and Jen episodes are always the episodes that I'm just like, okay. I mean, we had to have a show this week.
gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
It's definitely been,
I may be completely alone. I don't know. So
well, I haven't watched just the Sun and Jin episode yet, so I can
okay.
neither agree nor disagree. Okay, probably. So then we get to the point where the medicine is running low, and Jack is like, I gotta go in the airplane. I have to go in the fuselage. And the way that Hurley hypes up how gruesome it is in there, I want to see it. Like,
Are we have we gotten to the part have we gotten to the episode? There's an episode coming up where Hurley does that thing, and where you're in front of kids and you can't say a word that you don't want them to hear, so you spell it out?
oh, does he spell it wrong?
Yes. He's standing there with Walt and Michael, and he's talking to Michael, and he's like, you know, we got to do something about the
Oh,
BODDYS.
oh, he did yes, he did that in
And he
the
was like, "Are
pilot.
you trying to say bodies?" He's like,
Yes.
BODIES.
Yeah, I think he said BODYS or something like that. That was in the pilot.
BODDY. Like,
But,
yeah, you trying to spell bodies, man? Like,
but yeah, just the way Hurley hypes up how gruesome and awful and terrible it is. But then again, this is the guy who can't stand blood, so of course some bodies are gonna make him feel some type of way.
right,
Yeah,
right, right,
yeah.
right. So, all right. So I think, all right. Do you have anything that's more episode 3 centric?
This is episode 3
Yes, I was
because
wondering.
then
I did.
my next note is about the farmer. Yeah.
Okay, because I don't want to move on. I don't want to move on to talking about Walkabout till we've gotten all of your questions and
Yeah,
observations
yeah.
from Tabula Rasa.
Yes, because then we get back to Kate and she's trying to leave in the middle of the night and the farmer is like, "Wait until morning. We'll go get cheeseburgers or whatever." And that's when she realizes the jig is up.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, no, the farmer's not a creep, but he did sell her out, but at least he's not a creep." So,
Yeah.
score 1 for that guy, I guess.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure he never got the money. They don't really come back. They
Ah.
don't really come back to that, but I don't know if it's not really a big reveal here. This is not really a spoiler.
Mhm.
But on the plane when Kate was like, "Can you just do me can you make me just one promise or one thing?"
Yeah,
And he was like,
that's
and
what
we
she
don't know what
wanted it
that
to
is.
be.
It's that she wants to make sure
Yeah.
he gets the reward money.
Yeah, that's what she said to him when she finally meets him in the tent,
Okay.
and he, like, wakes up and has all of the strength in the world to choke her.
Right.
Like, girl,
So much
girl,
hate.
so much hate. That's
What?
what made me think, like,
A
you
US
see
law enforcement officer fueled by rage? No.
what? In this economy? Like
Mm-mm.
and then Sawyer's coming in trying to talk Kate into shooting the marshal with his own gun. I'm like, "That's kinda savage." Like, that's cold, killing
Yeah.
this man with his own gun. The way Hurley reveals that Kate has the gun to Jack, and he's just like, "Oh, no way." Like, that just sent me because he's like, "She's dangerous." "Oh, she's fine. She doesn't have anything." "She's strapped." "Oh, no way." Like, just these, like, throwaway one-liners amuse me. But then we get to it's still the Kate episode, but we get into the more Locke of it because he starts whittling the whistle, and this endeared him to me even more. So I'm like, "What is not Creed doing?" "Oh, he's making a whistle. There's Vincent." Because all Walt wants is his dog, and Michael/Mercutio is kinda dragging his feet about it, but I love that he got the dog back. I love that Locke helped him because Michael's not really trusting Locke, and I can kind of see why, because Locke, if you don't know him, kind of gives off creepy neighbor vibes.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I love him, but he does give off creepy neighbor vibes. And then we get to Kate getting ready to tell Jack, and he was like, "It doesn't matter. I don't care what you did, like, it doesn't matter." And I'm like, "It doesn't matter to you, Jack, but damn it, it matters to me, and I wanna know." Like, I almost threw something at my TV. I was like, "Come on, man." It's making the not Googling very hard when it's right there, and Jack's like, "Nah, I'm good." Mad at you, Jack. Mad at you.
I wanna
Uh,
say you find out pretty soon. I wanna say you find out pretty quickly.
and the closing shot of the episode was just this ominous music focusing in on Locke, and I'm like, "What's with the ominous music? Like, what's wrong with him? That's my dude. Like, what he better not be bad." I'm gonna be so mad if/when that happens.
Because we're going into Walkabout. Yeah.
Well, I understand that now, but at the time, I was like, "What's going on? What's happening?"
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah, definitely
imagine
did.
that you had not been able to watch episode 4 immediately after you watched episode 3. Imagine that you had to wait a week. It sucked.
No, no,
It sucked.
absolutely
It was
not.
awful. It was awful because And then with between seasons, you had to wait like 6, 7 months.
That's true. That is a rough wait. But then we get into episode 4,
Yeah.
Walkabout.
Walkabout.
Ah, Walkabout. This episode was so good. It it ruined me, but it was so good.
Yeah. I love this is your first origin look at the life of John Locke. Um, who, from what I can tell, is probably some just data monkey at what sounded like a box company, I think is what he eventually says. He's like, I worked for a box company. We made boxes. I think somebody eventually asks him what he did. He's like, I worked for a box company. So I think that's what he does. And he gets the phone call, very military phone call about asking the colonel if he can rendezvous at the normal, the normal rendezvous place at the normal time. He's like, that's it, G5. I'll see you. Like he's, this military talk. And it turns out it's because him and a coworker are playing an ongoing game of Risk.
The way I that should have been my first clue. If you hadn't already told me that, like, things aren't always what they seem, like, everything is, like, there's layers. If I didn't already know that, that would have been my first big clue, because at first you hear the phone call, and I'm like, "Is he some, like, double agent doing, like, spy work?" And then you're like, "Nah, the homeboy is just playing Risk, and I learned that TPS reports are an actual real thing in real life." Like
Yeah, that was actually on part of your notes. Wait, reports are real?
I don't work with those, I only know of them from Office Space. So
Exactly, which I think is the joke.
Mm, yes, probably. But, oh, yeah, I had notes even before we get to Locke with our little flashback, because the episode opens with Vincent barking. He's doing his best at being a guard dog, and everybody's mad at him. "Vincent, shut up, you gotta keep the dog quiet." No, Vincent is doing his job because there are boars in the fuselage, and that's
Yeah, I
and
loved the
okay,
reveal of
oh,
the wild boar.
yes. The boar made me so happy because, like, 5 minutes later, they're like, "Oh, we have food," but my first thought was, "Oh, they have food now. They don't have just peanuts anymore."
Right.
But then they go into the whole, "We need to burn the bodies because we can't keep attracting these boars. We can't defend themselves. Like, we can't defend ourselves." And this was kind of touched upon in the screenshot I sent you, but this conversation where they are talking about, do we burn the bodies? What about the wishes of the dead? All of these. It's giving the early seasons of The Walking Dead vibes, like
Yeah.
society has just collapsed. They're trying to hold on to their shreds of humanity, but also other people are like, well, those aren't the rules anymore. We have to make our own rules. Like, you're not necessarily a bad person because you're not following the wishes of the dead of these people that they don't know. Like,
Right.
yeah. And then Locke comes in with the knife. I have in all caps, "Locke with the knife," because he threw it, and I forget who he
Either a
narrowly
very
missed.
good shot or a very bad shot.
Yes! Yes! And then my next note about Locke is I love this man, and I'll be pissed if he's a bad guy. So
Locke is
he
definitely
needs
an
to be
interesting
let down,
character.
though, so it's gonna happen.
I mean, I don't want to get into who turns bad and who turns good because honestly, it will change an entire like character arc. What I have to say, oh, this person's gonna become really good, or this person's gonna be really bad, like because they're still characters you have to meet. They're still characters you're gonna get into. But Locke is definitely one of the most
Yes.
interesting ones. But that was the thing is everybody on the island was interesting in a way, some more than others. Locke was just more interesting than a lot of the other people. But everybody in the island has got something going on. So
As of right now, Locke is my absolute favorite. Like He's I'm sure
Lives
that will
will
change in
separate.
time, but right now he is my favorite. He's my favorite so far. But then that's when the episode gets broken down into like the three plots. We've got the memorial service, we've got the hunting party slash Kate amplifying the signal slash the backstory into Locke, which is where all the fun really begins.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh no,
So
double life,
so
just playing Risk and then in real
these
time. Yeah.
these flashbacks to their origin stories, it's not just like a one and done. There will be multiples. There will be multiple ones. So you'll go all the way back to when John's a kid, when Kate's a kid. Like you'll go way
Oh
back
wow.
on some of these characters. So yeah, these are not like one and oh, you've got all the information. There will be later episodes where you get more.
I love that. Okay. Like I love knowing that. I'm always like a more information girly, so
Yeah,
that's
like I'll say,
fun. Like
I will say
linear time is
our next batch is I was saying we're not done talking about these ones, but our next batches are episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8. I want to say 5 is a Jack episode, 6 is a Jen and Son, 7 is Charlie, and 8 is Sawyer.
well, that's gonna be an interesting one.
So you notice you're getting everybody. It's kind of like going to a karaoke bar. Everybody's going to sing once before they let people get up and sing again. So
Gotcha. Okay.
you'll get all these episodes like with like one per person for a good hot minute, and then you'll finally get like your
Hmm.
first double or your first like, oh, we're doing more Jack this time.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. Especially as people die, not die, disappear, whatever, and then you have fewer, but then you have the other people added in, and things are already getting really interesting in this episode.
Or 4
And,
episodes into 121.
oh my god, like
Long way to go.
a long way to go. And then we just have the reveal that Locke is actually a very sad man in his one little like studio apartment with his
Yeah,
twin size bed.
yeah.
I mean, like,
He is the very definition of what Hollywood would make you think is a loser.
yes. And it made me so sad for him because my first impression of this man is like he's this cool badass guy, like Crocodile Dundee type of thing. But no, he's just a sad, lonely guy that people love to verbally abuse at work.
Yeah.
And no, I'm so sad for him. So sad for him. Speaking of being sad for somebody, we have the subplot of Boone and Shannon's like, I'm gonna learn how to fish. And then she essentially
Yes.
uses Charlie to get the fish.
To catch her fish.
Convey Yes, to catch her a fish, and then she essentially drops him, and I'm like, "This poor man, he is already very fragile,
And
very fragile."
like really like obviously there's Pickens on the island, but like you got what, Shannon, Claire, Kate, like he's picking his shots.
He is, because even earlier in that episode or the episode before, like, he was flirting with Claire so hard, it was super cute, super sweet. I mean, I like her better than Shannon, but
Yeah.
I can see why. I can see why maybe he'd wanna go for Shannon. And then a mysterious suited man? Question mark, exclamation point, question mark?
This is the first appearance of that character. Yes. Yeah.
I am very, very interested in this character to see what ultimately happens with him. I'm just like, "How did you get here in your, like, bright white sneakers, sir?" Like,
Right. I believe that is actually what is in episode 5, which is called White Rabbit. I believe that is
okay.
The synopsis I have for episode 5, which is the next episode. Jack's lack of
Mhm.
sleep brings him to the edge of delirium. Boone gets trapped in a dangerous riptide, and Claire's health tickets takes a turn for the worse. That's
Oh, no.
what I have about
That is
that. So
quite the episode.
I want to say they address yeah, they address these visions very soon. So
Ah, okay. Yeah, so then, like, the hunting party is marginally successful. Kate breaks the signal booster because she's climbing the tree, and then the boar or the monster or something comes. They get separated from Locke. They're all, "Oh, no, Locke is gone. We lost Locke. Like, goodbye, Locke." But we don't see a body. I mean, obviously, it goes back to the end of the episode, but, like, TV rules are if you do not see a body, that person is
right,
not dead.
no blood, no body. That person's not dead. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So they come back and work is underway for the memorial service before they lit the fuselage on fire. Jack is talking to Rose.
I love Rose.
I love her, and she has me thinking some things now.
Okay.
So he's sitting with her on the beach trying to comfort her, like, "I'm sorry you lost your husband, like, you can come and join the memorial service, we would love for you to," and she's like, "My husband's not dead."
Yeah.
"Yeah, no, the plane broke apart, like, he's in the back of the plane." "Well, the people in the back of the plane probably think that we're dead," and now I'm like, what if that's correct? I mean, they do keep adding people in the seasons. What if these people in the other seasons aren't aren't bunker people, but are plane tail people? Uh,
And that became a question.
yeah.
Like, what happened to the back half of the plane? And they will answer
I
that.
wasn't even thinking about it.
They will answer that. The
Well, I'm very
plane
excited.
did rip in
I am
half.
very excited to see what happens. So it actually broke in threes because you had the cockpit and then you had the
Yeah,
main
you're right.
body and then the
Yep.
tail. Interesting. So yeah, she's got me thinking about that because of course you want to have that sense of hope like we discussed from the last episode. Like you don't want to
Right.
believe it whether it's hope, whether it's denial. But then this island is very weird. This island doesn't play by regular rules. So like what if? What if
Right.
she's right and she's not just deep in mourning? So that was really interesting to me.
I mean, for God's sakes, there's polar bears on it,
Girl, polar bears.
and possibly
Polar
dinosaurs.
bears. Nah, girl, that's the Cloverfield monster.
The Cloverfield monster. It's Mrs. Cloverfield monster. It's just the Cloverfield monster, but it's got the pink bow on top of its head.
Right? Like Miss Pac-Man.
That's it. Just rar. I'm the Mrs.
Rawr.
Rar.
Dinosaur.
I'm the Miss Cloverfield monster.
And so the memorial service is going. And here's where we reach the part where I realize that I need to be slightly more observant because they are just laying this whole thing out. And in a literary sense, it is beautiful because we find out, well, I find out through another flashback. Well, not, yeah, it's the flashback that Locke has been in a wheelchair because he's trying to go on the walkabout. The tour guide is like, no, you can't go. You lied about your condition. And he gets mad and he pushes away from the desk. This
Don't tell
man
me
was
what
in a
I
wheelchair
can't
the whole
do.
time. Yes. Meanwhile, we have seen this wheelchair all through the episode,
Right.
carting things along, holding things. I mean, I
Even
thought it
using it
was
as a
weird that they're
wheelbarrow.
yes, I thought it was weird that they kept zooming in on his feet when he would be laying down, just like looking at his feet. I'm like, that's weird. That's suspicious. But now it makes sense because the
So
miracle is he's walking on this
he can
island.
walk. Yep. This is the first time that we hear that the island possibly has some healing powers to it. He is not the only one. There will be other things that come up that the island has influenced. You've got Locke walking around, which, by the way, um, Terry O'Quinn, um, in the Getting Lost documentary, has said his entire career he's always been like this, that he tells them that if there's a big twist coming for his character or like a big reveal of any type, don't tell him what it is and let him naturally give you what he naturally needs to give you on the page until he gets the script that shows the change. And then he will adjust because he just believes that if he doesn't know, he can't, he doesn't have to keep it secret because he doesn't know about it. So he did not know that episode 4, Walkabout, was going to reveal that John Locke had been in a wheelchair the entire time, including on the plane,
They did such a good job of framing those
of
shots in the
hiding that.
flashbacks,
Right.
of hiding yeah. I did not see that coming,
You never see him drive.
but no.
You never see him
You see him at the
drive.
desk, you see him at the
Yep.
table.
You see him sitting in the bed, but you don't, he does,
Mhm.
his legs are just there. But yeah,
Yeah.
you never see any inkling that it's a wheelchair he's sitting in until the very end when he pushes himself away from the desk and gives us the first of many "Don't tell me what I can't do."
It was just so good, and in that moment, I was just like, "Okay, how many other things am I seeing right in front of me right now that I don't know that I'm seeing until later on?" Which tells me that the rewatch factor on the show is incredible because once you know what you're picking up on, I cannot wait for all these dots to be connected so then I can
You
go
will
back and
never
reconnect
watch
them.
yeah, you'll never watch the series again because you'll catch something and you'll be like, "Wait, what?" Like, you'll catch something crazy like that and you're like, "Oh, okay." Like, yeah, I've that's how I've been able to rewatch it as many times as I can. And it's because you quite frankly, like, I'm sitting here trying to remember, like, I watched these episodes with you, and I'm trying to sit here trying to remember, okay,
Mhm.
like, what happens in this episode? What's the little bitty stuff that happens? Like, so that you can talk through the episode. And and then I watch him and I go, well, man, I completely forget like how this went down. I remember, you know, how this happened, but I don't remember how, like, I don't remember seeing like how it happened. And you'll see all that later.
Yeah.
This is our first chance of seeing that this island is maybe not just the remote tropical island that we think it is. Because you'll notice that not just physically broken, but how emotionally broken, morally broken, physically broken. There is something broken about every single person on that plane. And that's where this show just gets all of its fuel because you're not just dealing with one problem, which is we're stuck on this island. You're dealing with that problem, but then you're dealing with this over here. My daddy didn't love me. My mommy didn't love me. My older brother was always the favorite child. Like you've got all these individual problems that they're there to fix and but also survive on this island.
I am just so excited. I'm also very glad that I have you to humor me with my little, like, shit posty thoughts, because like, because now that I know that the island is healing of sorts, quote, unquote, I'm like, "Well, there goes my cabin in the joke." Like,
Yeah. The island is very much a character and not a setting.
I'm seeing that. I'm seeing it, but
And then and this is not too early to talk about this. Did you
uh-huh.
catch kind of now that you've watched 2 of our character episodes, do you feel that Kate and Locke maybe look at what's going on as maybe not the worst thing?
I do see that
Kate's
actually
essentially
because
a citizen in a country of only the people she knows that no one knows her secret. Well, she thinks no one knows her secret. And
right,
then
and the same
Locke in
with
the next
Locke.
episode is walking around and no one what I'm surprised is that and I don't think anyone ever says this on the show. I don't think anyone ever looks at Locke and goes, "Weren't you in a wheelchair on the plane?" Like no one says that. Like we just all just, "Yep." it's an Igor Young Frankenstein where the hump changes sides and you just don't mention
Mhm.
it.
Well, it's either that or that could be a maybe I'm getting a little too deep with this, a testament to how people of different abilities, disabilities, whatever, however is the appropriate way to label it, are almost invisible in society. Nobody noticed. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
he pre-boarded. Was pre-boarding a thing in 2004?
Uh, yeah, yeah.
He could have pre-boarded so they wouldn't have seen him in the chair because the chair would have been stowed away.
Right. He had already been seated down. He wouldn't be flying
Yeah.
in the wheelchair.
Yeah. But knowing what we know from the flashbacks, it could be a testament to his invisibility before being on the island.
Okay.
Because now he's a man that walks and he has a suitcase full of knives and he saved the day by killing a boar. He is the ultimate badass when he wasn't any of those things before. So now he's living his best life.
Right.
I would argue. Like
Right.
he's
And
loving this island.
a question that's going to come up a lot, especially in this first season, is the question of a man of science or a man of faith. Where you're going to see in the next, if you've seen over these first couple episodes, Jack is very much solution based. What can I do to get us off this island? What can I do
Mhm.
to get us rescued? Okay, I'm low on medicine. I need you guys to go through all the suitcases and find me anything that ends in "cillin" or, like anything like that. The marshal is dying and Jack won't let him just go. Jack is the man of science. He doesn't believe in anything unless he can see it or do it. He is very literal, and the natural adversary to that will become Locke because Locke now has landed on an island and can magically walk. Like,
Yeah,
there's no
like he
way
told Walt
to
he had a
explain that.
miracle.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no way to explain that. He can't tell anybody. He can't even to explain it to himself. All he knows is he woke up on the beach and now he can walk. So John becomes very much a man of faith. This is my destiny. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. And then you've got Jack over here going, my job is to get all of you home safe. And simply just because they have those two separate paths, they make such good adversaries. And
That's
they
gonna be
see that,
such a fun dynamic to
you'll
watch.
see that grow. Oh, wait, another fun
Nice.
dynamic is when they decide that Kate has to have a boyfriend.
I'm already seeing that, like, they're already laying the groundwork of, like, a struggle between Jack and Sawyer over Kate. And, like, that is so
Yeah. And I'll tell you now,
no.
it doesn't really get answered until like season 5.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's just Kate and yep. The skaters and the jaders. I can't remember what they were called. But you had the people that were Jack
Wow.
and Kate and the people that were Sawyer and Kate. And like she would go on interviews like on The View and they would be like, so who's Kate gonna end up with? Who's she picking? Jack or Sawyer? And it's like, oh my God, this is
Mila, she is already such an interesting character. She doesn't need that, but
right.
a product of its time, of course, they're gonna be like, relationships are cool. Just like
Yeah.
they're building this really weird dynamic with I think the wife's name is Sun and Michael?
Sun and Jin, the Korean couple.
Sun and Jin, okay, yes, the Korean couple.
Yep.
Yes. I'm like, that's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that is a very good storyline on the show. That is a very, very good storyline. They were a lot of people's favorite characters. Like I said, their episodes are just not my favorites. But if I went
Mhm.
back and watched them again, which I'll get to do that this time, maybe I'll see them differently. Because I think I've always had this mind of, well, the Sun to Gen episodes are always the ones that I can always kind of like, man, who cares? But now I'm going to be like, okay, why do I not care for this episode? This episode was perfectly fine. Like,
Right.
um, so it's a lot of people really liked Sun and Jin. Sun has a fantastic, and Jin, both of them have fantastic character growth that happens over the series. Um, and they are really cool characters, and there's things about everybody that you don't know. Like, as I mean, and when I say that you don't know, I mean that you, the viewer,
Mhm.
do not know. Because obviously, not a lot of people on the plane know that Charlie is a heroin addict. We know that Charlie's a heroin addict because we saw him go in the bathroom when they went to the fuselage.
Right, and then after Shannon obliterated his feelings, he was licking the inside of the bag trying to get the last bit of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's not
You know,
hiding that stuff.
Shannon's got her own things, and Boone's got his own things. Everybody's got a flaw about them, and it just makes for such good television because some of them you get revealed pretty quickly, and some of them there are questions that will come up about this show in the first season that aren't answered, not just till the last season, but in like the last 3 episodes.
Oh,
And you're like,
wow.
yeah. And it's questions that you honestly kind of forgotten about. You're like, oh yeah, that was a thing. That explains that. Okay. It was in that mad dash to answer as much as possible. So, all right. So, but now you've seen what Lost can do when it comes to reveals. Um, I don't have a lot in these little episode descriptions I have, but the next batch
Uh,
for the next episode we will do, it's going to be a 4 episode, so it's a lot. So it's White Rabbit, which is episode 5, episode 6, House of the Rising Sun, episode 7, The Moth, and episode 8, Confidence Man. So those are our next 4 episodes that we will watch before recording our next episode. Um, and I don't have enough in the descriptions to kind of know, like, okay, what happened in this episode? I know what happened in Confidence Man. Confidence Man, I do know because it's a really good episode. This is a good batch. This is a good
it
batch here.
sounds like a good batch.
Yeah, this is a good batch here because naturally, the last 2 episodes went together because they are very much about their brokenness before the island
Mhm.
and how the island is not just fixing them, but giving them a chance at a second life. It's giving them a chance at some type of redemption. Kate isn't a fugitive on the island. Locke can walk. He's not disabled on the island. So it's those can get lumped together, because they really answer that question of who were these people before they came to the island and what could the island possibly do for them? Episode 5, White Rabbit, then episode 6, House of the Rising Sun, The Moth, and Confidence Man. Those are our next 4. Did you have any other notes, any other thoughts about episodes 3 and 4?
Not specifically about the episodes, it's just more in general so far,
Okay.
but you've already sort of disproven part of it with, like, the island has healing powers. Because my question this morning was, does the island show you as you wanna be instead of how you really are, like a Mirror of Erised situation?
No.
Because Locke well, not exactly like a direct port of the Mirror of Erised, but, like, Locke is a loser. On the island, he is amazing. Kate, in the real world, a fugitive that we don't know what's going on, morally gray. But here, she's secondary leadership. She's really like taking command. Jack, I don't know. For all I know, he might actually be a shitty doctor, but here he is saving people left and right and just being the Rick Grimes of the show. Like,
I mean, we're going to get into that. I want to say the next episode. I want to say White Rabbit is a Jack flashback episode. I think Moth's Charlie, and I know that Confidence Man is Sawyer, and House of the Rising Sun is Sun and Jen. So there's a lot to be revealed coming up, and I'm looking through like season 1 to like when's our next big, like huge one.
it's killing me that I can't look ahead. It's killing me that I can't find out this answer.
Coming up, yeah. Season 1 is just so good. It's just so perfect. So, all right, but that's gonna do it for this week. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you're liking, sharing. I actually put a poll on our last episode, which was about the pilot. And the poll that I asked was who initially was the character you knew you couldn't trust? And did that change between the pilot and episodes 3 and 4?
Oh, that's a good question. See, I'm a bad person to ask this question to because I need to just lay it out here now. I hold grudges for silly reasons. Fictional
Okay.
characters, like, eh, I had a grudge against Billy Zane for decades because he was too good at his job. I
He
have
did
a
a very
grudge
good
against
job.
Nancy Wheeler because of season 1 of Stranger Things. Like, she did Barb dirty. Nancy Wheeler is my enemy. So,
Got it.
even though she's actually amazing, no, she is my enemy. So, I am a terrible person to be like, "Who do you not trust in this show?" Because I'm going to latch on to Shannon and say, "I don't like you, Shannon." And she could do the best things later on. I'm gonna be like, "I don't like you, Shannon. You hurt Charlie." Like,
Go. Yeah. Mm.
but all of that to say is I make grudges for silly reasons, not because they're serious. It's just part of the bit. I think it's a quirky personality flaw. Like, it's not. It's terrible, actually. But no, I make grudges just because, and I'm gonna hold on to them. So be warned, everybody out there. I might dislike your favorite character just because they looked at somebody sideways, and it's nothing personal. It's just my brain doing what it does.
Well, thank you guys for listening. If you are watching, like I said, if you're watching alongside of us, I invite you to do so. If you want to watch along at our pace, you can. You don't have to. But if you want to, our next episode is going to be episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 of season 1. So we will see you next week right here on Not Penny's podcast.